Hey guys, Ethan here from Mitten Equipment. Quick summary of this video. Kubota snowblowers, especially these front quick hitches, are not a lot of fun to work on. So anyways, right here we're sitting in front of a Kubota BX2751 front quick hitch. This is the quick hitch that's going to be used for all of your Kubota BX tractors up till the 80 series, where they are changing to the new like K-Connect 4-point hitch style. So this is officially the old style, but still very current. So this is the best of the best if you see this style of bearing. This bearing, all it is it's just your regular old bearing where the inner race is extended and you got two grub screws on it. Best of the best. Now, this is exactly what you want to see if you're gonna have to change one of these shafts, but a lot of these snowblowers have eccentric locking rings on them. Now what that means is the locking rings will rotate and kind of they'll basically rotate. You know, they're oval shaped, and then you have a bearing with an oval shaped exterior to the race, so they lock on. Then as you rotate it, the race and then the eccentric locking ring, they lock together basically by distorting the interior circle. It locks the shaft into position to keep it from shifting forwards and backwards. Now that you need to, one of these holes is basically going to have, you'll see one of the holes is marred up and the other one has a grub screw in it. So you'll need to hammer that ring until it unlocks from the bearing and you can remove that ring. Those are somewhat difficult, not impossible, but definitely not the easiest thing in the world. So tighten this bearing up. All right, so some other tips on these. These hitches are built in Canada. They're not made by Kubota. They're sold by Kubota. You'll also find similar hitches from the same manufacturer for some of the New Holland tractors of this size, and I believe Massey Ferguson subcompact tractors. The hitches are not the same though. They're not the same. So being built in Canada, for some reason, the Canadians actually like the American standard system of inches. So your hardware on here is going to be standard. These nuts are 1/2 inch, and then the grub screws, if you do need to replace them, they are 1/4 28 thread by 1/4 inch long. So 1/4 28, not 1/4 20, 1/4 28. That's what thread they are. The ones factory from Kubota have kind of teeth in the ends of them, which kind of bite in. When you find them at the hardware store, you won't find them with the teeth in them. So this is the long shaft. This shaft is 14 7/8 inches long. The short shaft is about 11 1/2. Most applications are gonna need this long shaft. So between the two Kubota BX PTO kits, which are BX2752, that's the short shaft, and then BX2753, which is the long shaft. Now the long shaft is going to be used on the Kubota BX23 50, 60, 70, and then also the BX26 and the larger frame backhoe models are going to use this long shaft. The only models that use the short shaft are the very original, the first generation Kubota BX tractors. So like I had a Kubota BX23, that was the whole model number, is BX23. It's a front end loader backhoe. That was the loader backhoe model back then. You have like the BX1800, 2200, 2230. I'm trying to remember even if those are all correct, but first generation ones, you can recognize them. They're very square compared to the current ones. They use the short shaft, and then the short shaft is also used on the BX 18, 50, 60, 70 series tractors. So the 18s use a smaller frame, you need the shorter shaft for it. These shafts are about 200 bucks. To find the part number for the shaft, I always look up parts on Messick's. You either need to search for a BX2752 or a BX2753, depending on which shaft you need. That's where you're gonna find the shaft. You don't find the shaft in the quick hitch parts diagrams or with the tractor, with the snowblower, or anything else. You need to look up those part numbers. You have to know them. So I've had to learn all this from experience. I've changed 3 of these shafts now, I think. None of them have been easy. Each different one, I come to a different style of bearing, so I need to refigure it out. This one, I ended up replacing these carrier bearings on because I thought it was the eccentric collar, like they've all been in the past, where one of the holes needs to be hammered. So I ended up, anyways, kind of wrecked the threads on them. But good thing the carrier bearings are like 20 bucks a piece, so not really a big deal. If you do have one with the eccentric collars on it, it might even be worth upgrading to these the carrier bearings. But you get into certain situations, kind of depends on where the carrier bearings are placed in the hitch, because you're still going to need to be able to remove the original shaft from those carrier bearings in order to get it separated from the hitch. Even if you are trashing the shaft and the carrier bearings, your only option there, if it absolutely comes down to, is cutting the shaft. But the shaft is like a standard inch diameter. Other than that, some other quick tips: when you're installing a snowblower on these, hook up the snowblower, so have the snowblower with the PTO shaft on it. Don't have half the shaft here and half the shaft there. That's a mess. So put your shaft in, get the snowblower hooked up to the hitch, and then what I like to do is get everything locked together and then push the snowblower down as far as possible. Then you can get your hand in there and get that shaft hooked up. So anyways, guys, I hope this helps. These snowblowers, pain in the butt to work on. I've changed 3 of these shafts now. All of them have had to be changed to the long shaft. Nobody really needs the short shafts, or it's very uncommon that people do. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you got any questions, please feel free to reach out. I know a stupid amount of stuff about all this, all from experience. So if you don't want to learn the hard way, message me. Maybe I have learned the hard way and I can help you out. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.